Good day. Welcome to a practical artificial intelligence discussion brought to you by the Peninsula Technology Team, and it will be available on the Peninsula YouTube channel. Artificial intelligence is your new digital assistant. Here's the agenda today that we can help you understand a little bit better. First one up is what is AI? Then why now? Then 4 practical examples of AI. Recap and getting started. These are the steps required to do it. Very simple. Tips for best results, what AI cannot do, and some privacy and safety concerns that we should all know about. Let's get right into it. What is AI? Simply put, it's a digital assistant that understands everyday language. You don't need to know any special commands, technical terms, or programming languages. You just speak or type naturally like you're talking to a friend. AI responds with helpful information. Popular AI tools, which we've all heard of, are ChatGPT, Claude, Google's Gemini, and Microsoft's Copilot. Most are free to use and work on any phone, tablet, or computer you have that is connected to the internet. As a recap, AI is a helpful digital assistant. You ask questions in plain English. It responds like a knowledgeable friend, and no technical skills are required. Why now? The truth is, AI has existed for years, but only recently became simple enough for everyone to use. In the past 2 years, the company have made the AI tools we just talked about, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, that anyone can access, no training required. This is very similar to when smartphones first made it to the internet. Everybody went right to them. It exploded, and that's what's going to happen with AI. AI is finally easy to use. It's releasing to the public right now, available on devices you already own, and free low-cost options. So free or low-cost options. Now we're going to go into a few examples. The first example is medical. You can take pretty much any medical result you get, whether I did an MRI, a CAT scan, you just upload that, copy and paste it right into the AI tool. It'll come back and explain to you what's going on. I did a pretty simple one here. Cholesterol results, total 220, LDL 145, HDL 48, triglycerides 180. What does this mean? That's what I typed into AI. It came back and said, well, here's the indications. It explains each of those, what the total cholesterol is, the LDL, the HDL, and triglycerides, and they're all borderline. So then on the right, it comes back and gives you a recap and says these results suggest you have borderline high cholesterol, can increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. It's important to discuss these results with your doctor. Provide with your doctor or provider to determine the best course of action. And they would probably recommend a lifestyle change, healthier diet, exercise, possibly medication to manage these levels. So this is a pretty simple one, but I did a pretty complicated MRI, which talked about L4, L5, all this other, which I had no idea what they were talking about. And I keyed that in, got the results, and then when I went to my doctor next time, I showed him the results. He says, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly what it means. So it is pretty good at interpreting what's going on the medical side. In fact, the doctors that I talked to, we did some systems for Montefiore Hospital up in the Bronx, pretty big hospital, and they're using AI first to look at what the results are, and then the doctor reads it and looks at the AI report. So when they get it, when they tweak it enough where they think the AI is good enough, they'll let it loose. But they're practicing with that already, and it's very helpful because it does catch a few things that they may miss. The second example, learning new skills. So the skill would be, I want to make a phone call to my kids or grandkids through Alexa or Google Assistant. How do I do that? That's what I keyed in. Here's what came back. Using Alexa, which is any of your Apple devices, You set up contacts. You ensure that the grandkids' phone numbers are saved in your Alexa app. You can do this by opening the app, going to Communicate tab, and adding their phone numbers. Enable calling. Make sure that calling and messaging are enabled in the Alexa app. You may need to verify your phone number to enable this feature, and then you make the call. You simply say, Alexa, call Henry. There it goes, calls him. Alexa will then place the call using the contact information you saved. Using Google Assistant, which are the Android devices, set up contacts, ensure that your kids' phone numbers are saved in your Google contacts, enable voice match, set up voice match, and turn on personal results for the Google Assistant enabled device you want to make calls from. These would be the Google Assistant ones are the Nest Minis, the Nest Hub, those types of things. And then you make the call. To make the call, you say, hey, Google, call the grandkid's name, call Henry. Google Assistant will then place the call using the contact information you saved. So any skill you want to learn how to use Zoom, you want to learn more about YouTube, you want to do it, just ask it and say, I'm a beginner. Can you walk me through a tutorial on Zoom? It'll give you the best tutorial out there. So that's another great example of, how you can do things with learning new skills. The third one I did is writing assistant. So I put in there, I want to preserve my life story. How can you help me get started? How would I do that? So it gave me 10 questions to help write about your childhood, because that's kind of where you start. Your earliest childhood memory, your home, your favorite toy, your vacations. So it went through, and if you can answer all those questions and put them in a document, you can then load that document back to AI and expand that to a full story. You can then dictate memories, voice. AI will help you organize them chronologically, suggest chapter titles, or even create interview questions you can ask your elderly relatives while you can still ask them and get the information and put it in your life story. So it's pretty good at memorializing things, and it will organize them the way you want it organized. So you can go through and ask it, how would I do that? And once you have the document, it will do it for you. So that's actually pretty cool. The next one up is a recap on getting started. The steps involved to get started here are very easy. You choose a free tool, one of the ChatGPTs, Google Gemini's, Microsoft Copilot, Claude. There's a lot of them out there. Perplexity is a new one that's out there. Create an account with your email. Try one simple question. Just key it in. Explain AI in simple terms. That's the one we put in. And read what it says. Experiment. You really can't break anything. You're just asking it. Once you go to a Chat GPT or whatever one you pick, you click sign up, you create your free account, try asking the questions I said here, explain what is AI in simple terms. The best way to learn is by experimenting. You can't break anything by asking questions. If you don't like the answer, ask it again differently. Be more specific. Do what we can do. So it's pretty easy to get on, and we have a lot of people here that I talk to. They use ChatGPT instead of Google all the time to get deeper answers. Tips for best results. First, you want to be specific. Instead of tell me about France, try what are the best small towns to visit in southern France. Second, mention your experience level. I'm new to gardening, or explain this like I'm not tech savvy, or I'm a beginner. It'll take that into account when giving you an answer. Don't hesitate to ask for clarification. I type things in all the time, and it comes back, and then I go back and say, hey, I didn't understand what this means, what the answer was. It'll come back and explain it. That's the best way to do it, and it will adjust to your needs. So the recap is be specific about what you need, mention your experience level, ask for examples or step-by-step help, and request simpler explanations. You can do that and it will follow your lead. Now, what AI cannot do, you have to be clear about its limitations. AI cannot access your bank accounts. It can't make purchases. It can't log into your email. It cannot diagnose medical conditions. You always have to see your doctor for the diagnosis, but it can interpret tests, and then you can discuss those with your doctor. It cannot provide legal advice for specific situations. You have to consult an attorney. Same deal. This will give it to you. I had one resident ask me they needed a lease because they wanted to lease a house they had. So I said, here, you can do it. You just provided the specifics, the lease, the name, where's the house, what the rent is, right down the line, listed about 8 things. And it came back and gave them a lease. And that worked out very well for them. AI can help you understand complex topics, prepare questions for professionals, and make more informed decisions. That's its strength, and that's how you use it. Think of it like a research assistant. It's not a replacement for licensed professionals, but it is a good, outstanding research tool. So on the right, I just put it out there. It cannot access your personal accounts. It doesn't do that. Even if you give it codes, it can't do it. Cannot make purchases or payments, cannot make medical diagnosis, cannot provide legal advice. But it can help you understand what we're trying to do. Now, privacy and safety, never share your passwords, your credit card numbers, or social security numbers with AI. You shouldn't share them with anything online, but specifically AI. Don't upload sensitive financial documents that apply to you. Now, you can be using a paid private version of an AI tool. You could do it then, but be careful there. Free AI services may use your conversations to improve their system, so that's a little downfall there. When discussing personal matters, you keep things general. Instead of saying my neighbor John Smith did X, say my neighbor did X. Use common sense. If you wouldn't share it with a stranger, don't share it with AI. So over on the right, no passwords, account numbers up there in AI. Don't upload sensitive documents, financial documents. And the reason for that is free versions, they may use those conversations for their own training. So when they're trying to get better versions like ChatGPT, when they're going to come out with ChatGPT 6, they can use conversations that we keyed in and answers and learn from that. So your information could be exposed, so don't get too personal on your stuff in there. When in doubt, ask generally without specifics. Thank you. Any questions, you can go to the forum and ask them. We'll answer them. And you can offer suggestions for us of something you want to research that you had trouble with or you didn't get the right answer. Maybe we can help you get those prompts, which are just the questions you put into AI, a little bit better. But again, thank you, and that's it.